Welcome everyone to the Charts of the Day video for July 9th, 2019. Today I am going to focus on restaurant stocks, starting off with McDonald's. This is one of the stocks in our coverage list that we have been bullish on basically since the low that was hit here back in March of 2018, and we recommended it as a long position once we saw a nice turn back up from that low in what we were counting as wave one of this fifth wave here. Now, the price structure that we initially got from that March 2018 low as a three-wave start suggested that the fifth wave could potentially fill out as an ending diagonal structure. And basically, that is how price has continued to fill out since. So once we got the 1-2 in place, then we looked for wave 3 as a three-wave move to fill out at least into 1382. It got a little bit higher into that 1618 extension. So the high at the end of 2018 is where wave 3 of the ending diagonal completed. Then we got a more mild drop on this stock compared to many other things in the broader market into the December 2018 low here as what counts as wave 4 of the ending diagonal, and then since a nice three-wave structure filling out as what should be wave 5 to complete the entire ending diagonal off the March 2018 low as this fifth wave within the parenthesis intermediate wave 3 to set up the next higher degree correction as this intermediate degree parenthesis wave 4 next, which actually can take us all the way back down to where that ending diagonal started back near the March 2018 low in the 150 region. I would say at least kind of a minimum back into 170, but odds are pretty decent that we can actually drop all the way back down close to 150 before putting in the next major bottom. Near term, though, we do not have an indication of a top in place, and it seems like price is trying to stretch up towards this next cluster of fibs in the 215, 217 region before that next top is attempted, which would also allow price to touch this upper trend line within the trend channel that defines the ending diagonal here, connecting the waves 1 and 3, and then the lower trend line connecting waves 2 and 4. So again, a little bit further near-term upside as possible into the 215, 217 region before attempting the next top. And then price will need to turn back down and start making some lower lows and lower highs to indicate a near-term trend change. So back below 203 and then even better below this wave 4 here in the 195 region to start confirming that top. And then again, looking for a big ABC wave 4 to take us back down, ideally to 150. Next up, I wanted to take a look at Chipotle. Chipotle was one of the stocks that, going back to 2015 here, when we were filling out this move up from the 2012 low is what looked like an impulse completing within a larger impulse off the 2018 low. As you can see here, this circle 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. One of the stocks that we were looking for a much more significant top in 2015 compared to many other things that were positioned to just drop in the fourth wave. So we kind of looked at this as a possible cycle degree wave 1 completing, and therefore looking for a standard 382 to 618 retrace of that cycle wave 1 is the target for the corrective pullback. And I remember at the time quite a few people scoffed at that expectation for a drop from all the way back in the 700s down to as low as 240 there as the initial target for the corrective pullback. But, over time we did eventually make our way all the way back down pretty close to that 240 target. It did bottom a little bit higher than that, closer to 250 before turning back up. And actually, since price did come down close to this 302 retrace, it's technically possible that that was enough for all of this cycle 2. If this is a much larger cycle degree wave 1 and cycle degree wave 2, this could be starting a very long and extended continuation in bullish move to the upside as a cycle degree wave 3. However, as you see labeled on my chart, I have it as an A wave down with this bounce since that low that was hit in 2018 as a B wave. And the reason that I have it counted as such is because when you examine this move up from that 2018 low, it fits the structure as an ABC better. And right now is just basically a fairly equal sized 3-wave move since that 2018 low, coming back into the high that we saw in 2015. So let's zoom in on that a little bit. So as I was mentioning, the initial move here really counts a bit better as a 3-wave structure rather than a 5-wave structure. As you can see, the high that was hit in August 2018 only hit a 1618 extension. And that's much more common for a 3rd wave within an impulse rather than a 5th wave. So it could have held a 4th wave here and then gotten a new high as a 5th wave to complete 5 up if it had then consolidated again. But the fact the price continued to stretch higher really left us with, again, what looks like a more proportional 3-wave structure overall, thus the large degree B wave here. So once we continued to stretch higher and suggest a C wave, we suggested a minimum target for that C at the 786 extension there, which is 699, which was achieved. But then we held this 3-wave consolidation to set up another extension higher. We've now hit the next resistance, the prior 2015 top, and this 887 fib at around 755. However, price really does have room if it wants to continue to stretch higher to even potentially continue on towards that 100% full measured move target at around 823 before attempting the next top. Otherwise, price will need to pull back and turn back below the June low to start giving us some confirmation of that top in place and the potential start to a C wave, which can take us all the way back down to that 240 region again to complete a much wider flat off the 2015 high as this A, B, and then C. Next up, let's take a look at Wingstop, which has been quite the impressive stock, especially for a restaurant, fast food restaurant. Basically, since the low that was hit back in 2015, and even more so during the portion of the rally during 2017, 2018, and 2019. So we saw this initial leading diagonal here from the 2015 low as this primary wave 1, a nice 3-wave flat structure for the primary wave 2, and then since then into the 2018 high, a nice primary wave 3 with a good subdivision of 5 waves within that move, and then 5 waves within the wave 3 of 3 as well. Another stock that got a more mild drop and outperformed relative to many other things in that pullback from the late 2018 high into the December 2018 low, and has since continued on to well exceed that prior high in what looks like a 5th wave within this larger impulse that began back here in 2015. So assuming another 5-wave structure for this wave 5 here, we initially got what looks and counts best as a 3-wave start, so that suggests a diagonal structure, although likely not overlapping with how high the wave 3 here has stretched. But even if you look at the subwaves within this wave 3, it also subdivides best into just a 3-wave move. So we're coming up on resistance here. I mean, basically, just recently hit a measured move. It seems like momentum is slowing. We're getting some negative divergence on technicals. Should be approaching a local top very, very soon as this wave 3, perhaps maybe a little bit higher first, but looking for at least a corrective pullback as this wave 4 of the ending diagonal 5th next, which can, let's see where we might end up there. If I can select this, there we go. If we are putting in our top kind of where price is right now, ideal target support for that wave 4 would be 77.20 roughly. we can give it room down to 73.35, and kind of the minimum upper end of support would be at 81.26. So if we pull back, that's the overall target region, 81.26 to 73.35. That it should hold as this wave 4, if setting up one more high from there as wave 5 of 5, which can take us up to potentially the 110 region next. Otherwise, to assume a more significant top in this primary wave 5 already complete, you would need to take out that 73.35 level. Next up, I wanted to take a look at Yum. We'll zoom out here as well, get a bigger picture count going. Surprisingly enough, this one actually, it can be an even larger impulse starting all the way back in 2000 here. Closer to completing, but let's focus more important on this more recent move up since 2016, which itself counts very well as a diagonal, ending diagonal structure as a fifth wave. So as you can see here, what looks like a nice three-wave start as the wave 1, somewhat shallow pullback for a diagonal as the wave 2, but we've kind of held the tighter trend channel in this case. Another three-wave structure up into a 100% extension, which is typically the minimum target for a third within a diagonal, into this January 2018 high, then another three-wave flat as wave 4 to the lower end of the trend channel, and then another three-wave structure since into this larger, higher degree cluster of fibs in the 110 region. So basically all expectations for the upside here as this ending diagonal fifth have now been met to potentially be completing the move up from that 2016 low. And again, it could be a very, very significant top. As you can see, a number of 5-wave labels there. It could be an ending diagonal fifth within a larger primary fifth to complete a larger impulse off the 2000 low. But we'll basically look at this one step at a time as we begin to pull back, but we really ultimately need a break back below the low that we saw at the end of May there at around 99 to start confirming that top in place and looking for a change of trend and likely a significant pullback and correction to start that, at least should retrace a good portion, if not all, of this entire ending diagonal move that began back from the low in 2016. And finally, I wanted to take a look at Wendy's, which also fits a decent standard impulse structure since the bottom back in 2008. This would be the primary degree wave 1. You had a running flat here as the primary degree wave 2. Then your intermediate wave 1 and 2, and this clearly being the strongest portion of the overall trend here for your wave 3 of 3, this intermediate 3 within the primary 3. Pull back into the September 2015 low, in this case likely where the intermediate degree wave 4 completed, and then another 5-wave structure since then as what should be the intermediate wave 5 to complete the primary degree wave 3 here. So as you can see, the minor degree labels, this being a 1-2, strongest portion of the trend within this impulse being here for the wave 3. Then a fourth, and what really has been quite a struggle since the low that was hit in November of 2017 to finish off this impulse as what should be an ending diagonal fifth as well. As you can see, the overlap and the 3-wave price structures within this move all suggest a ending diagonal. Now, similar situation, we don't have a clear indication of a top in place just yet, despite the count supporting a top forming here. We will need to see initially a break below 18 as your initial indication of that top, and then even better below 1625 to start confirming that this primary degree wave 4 has begun, which can take us back down into an ideal target of around 11. And maybe even deeper than that. Let's see what we have for fibs. Yeah, actually, just underneath 11,1068 is the 382 retrace of the primary degree wave 3, and that is the standard target, the most common target for a fourth within an impulse before setting up the next primary fifth to new highs. All right, that is all I had for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys again next time.